Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. The new academic year is almost upon us, and for all children they'll be starting a new year group with new expectations. In this video I just want to talk about some of the ways that you can help your child to prepare for their next year in school and some of the things you could do to help them to make sure they have a great, successful year. Alright, let's get into it. So, the new year is approaching and children will be going into their new classes in September. The first thing I want to talk about is this video is not going to be about other things like small things like school uniform, PE kits, like whether they're school dinners or packed lunch and how to prepare in that way. I can do another video on questions to ask your class teacher when you first begin your class. This video is all about how you can help your child prepare for the kind of subjects and topics and academic parts of the classroom and the year group and the curriculum that they're going to be going into. So the first thing I want to talk about is what year group are they going into? So you obviously know this already, but do you know what they'll be learning throughout that year? So what you can do is you can go onto the National Curriculum website, and on here are all the materials for each key stage. Okay, so year 1 and 2 is key stage 1, year 3, 4, 5, 6, that's going to be key stage 2 curriculum, and within there you can find the programs of study. So I'm just going to go through these now. Okay, so if you are on the computer and you're looking for the information on what your child will be learning in their particular year group, if you just go onto Google or any search engine, you type in National Curriculum. This is for the UK, obviously, and we're looking at the primary curriculum. So nationalcurriculum.gov.uk will be the website, and it looks like this, and you can find the information on here. So if I scroll down to the content section here, curriculum by key stages. So again, this is focusing primarily on the primary curriculum. So I've clicked on curriculum by key stages, and it says National Curriculum in England, frameworks, key stages 1 to 4. And then underneath we've got primary curriculum. So I'm going to click on primary curriculum. And then down here, we've got the national curriculum, primary curriculum. That gives you everything, which is, all the subjects through all the year groups. And that's quite a hefty document. So you don't really want all of that information. Primary curriculum, key stage 1, primary curriculum, key stage 2. So like I said before, key stage 1 is year 1 and 2. Okay, that's working up to the end of year 2, and key stage 2 would be right through from year 3 up to year 6. So depending on what year group you're looking for, you would click on this. So I'm going to click on key stage 1 and go down here. We've got the programs of study. Okay, that tells you what's going to be in each subject. All right, so if I click on this, we've got the English programs of study. That has everything. Okay, this here, English programs of study, key stages 1 and 2. So that's English for key stage 1 and 2. So if I just click on here, and then it gives me a PDF document. You've got contents here. Obviously, it says splits up into what it's all about. And if I just scroll down, you can have a read of this. But you're basically wanting to look at, it explains what it is that the children will be learning. It gives you some of the background, and then these are the statutory requirements. So these are what the children will need to be able to do in each key stage. You can go through these. This is all about year 1, starting from year 1. So it gives you a little bit of background. And then what are they going to be needing to do in reading? Apply phonics knowledge. Okay, all of this is what they're going to be learning in year 1. Some of it, it might not make sense to you at this point, but you could always go and ask your child's teacher to explain it in a little bit more detail. A reading comprehension, that's about asking questions about the text and their understanding of what they're reading. And it goes down, it gives you the spelling requirements. That's under the section on writing. Okay, handwriting, what they should be able to do. And if I keep just scrolling down, then I get onto year 2. This, again, the statutory requirements, what they'll need to be able to do by the end of year 2, what they'll be learning. All of these split up into reading and writing again. This is English, so you're only going to find reading, writing, handwriting, and spelling in here. Vocabulary and grammar. And then obviously if you keep going, you'll go on to year 3, 4, 5, 6. If I was looking for the maths, okay, then I'd have to come back out of here, okay, and then look for the maths, which if I just go down here, it should be here. But if it's not, then you can always just use their search bar here and just put maths programs of study, and then depending on the key stage, okay, so I find out what's here. Okay, sometimes it doesn't always give you what you're looking for, so I like to just go back to Google and then just put in the maths primary programs of study, and then you'll find it under, always go to the gov.uk section here, and then it should be here. So again, mathematics programs of study, just like the English, and you'll find it here. It's broken up into the different year groups, and this is basically includes everything that the teacher should be teaching your child during that year. So look at this year 1, they should be able to count across 100 forwards and backwards, read and write numbers to 100. If we go down, math is also split up into the different sections. So you'll have a section on the 4 operations and number. So place value, addition and subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions, measurement, okay, properties of shape, position and direction. So it's all split up into those sections. Here we've got year 2 to be able to count in 2 steps into 2, 3, 5 from 0 forward and backwards. Okay, so it gives you an idea of what they will be learning in that year group. And then if you do have any questions about any particular points on here, you can go and ask the class teacher, and you might say, my child's struggling with this. What's the best way to teach it? So it's useful to go on to the national curriculum and check the coverage for what your child's going to be looking at that particular year. Another thing is to think about, this is just a small thing, but it's something that teachers really appreciate if parents can get on board with this, and that is the spellings. So for most schools, hopefully your child will be doing a weekly spelling test, and they'll have some spellings that they'll take home and learn. These could be based on the spelling rules for that particular year group, but also what's called the common exception words. These are words that they have to learn in each year group. So there'll be common exception words for year 1, common exception words for year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's take a look at these now. Okay, so the spelling and common exception words, again, they can be found on the National Curriculum website under the section on English, and it's in an appendix, and it's in spelling. These words are words that do not follow specific spelling rules, or the children wouldn't be able to use their phonetic sounds to particularly be able to spell them. So they have to basically know them. They're sometimes called tricky words or sight words because the children just have to know how to spell them and how to read them. You can see here in this right-hand column the list of words. But if I'm honest, the best way to actually get these and get one that's sort of child-friendly is just to type common exception words into Google. Okay, and then you'll notice that loads of images come up. So if I just click on images, you'll see loads of different images come up of websites that create resources with the common exception words on. A good one is Twinkle. So that's actually the first one that comes up here. I've done another video on what Twinkle is and how to use it. So if you check that out, it will help you a little bit more. But if you have an account, then you can just download this. And this has, here you can see the year 2 common exception words, but there will be other spellings, common exception words for each year group. 3, 4 are together, 5, 6 are together. So yeah, these are spellings that the children will need to know how to spell and read by the end of the year. So yeah, that's another thing that can really help prepare your child for the next year, is looking at what the common exception words are. And this one relates purely to phonics. So through reception and even nursery and then through into year one, children will be learning about their phonics sounds. Now at the end of year one, before the end of the year again with these tests, it's not right at the end of the year, they'll be working towards the phonics screening, which is where the teachers will go through the phonics sounds and see what the children know. So can they blend, can they segment, can they segment and read words, okay, using their phonics knowledge that they've learned that year. So once again, if you go online, you can find an example of the phonics screening, the kinds of words that they'll be asked to learn and be able to read. Also, you can have a look on the channel because I've done another video just purely on the phonics screening, so you should be able to find that. I can put a link in the description below. But this is more for just really young children, year one. Again, don't try and worry the child or make them feel overly anxious. It's just to give you as a parent an idea of what the teachers are going to be trying to get the children to learn in regards to phonics. So phonics, have a look at the screening, and this is in another video. I'll talk about what you could ask the class teacher as well about the phonics. Times tables. So again, this is something that teachers really appreciate if parents can get on board and help the children with. Times tables for each year group is different. So going really far down into year one, they're going to be learning to count in 2s, 5s and 10s. So not necessarily giving them a question saying, 2 times 2, 5 times 2, 3 times 2. It's more about them just learning to count. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. They just learn to count in 2s, 5s and 10s. In year 2, however, they will be needing to know their 2s, 5s and 10 times tables, and then potentially looking at their 3s if they already know their 2s, 5s and 10s. But yeah, 2s, 5s and 10s are the ones that you need to be sort of helping them to learn so they can say them quickly, okay? Learning times tables is such a huge thing that you can do at home with your children, and it helps them so much in school. Going up into year 3, if they know more of these times tables, then that's brilliant. But in year 3, they would need to know 3, 4 and 8, as well as 2, 5 and 10 from year 2. So 3, 4 and 8 would be introduced. So if your child's going into year 3, 3, 4 and 8 would be good times tables for them to look at and learn. Because in year 4, they have to know them all by the end of the year. So the government introduced a new times tables test, what they do at the end of year 4. And that tests the children on their times tables to see if they know them all. So what you're really aiming for is, can you get your children to know all their times tables up to 12 by the end of year 4? Okay, so I'll put some more information in the description below as to which year groups you need to know which times tables. But if you can crack on and getting them learning these quickly, then that will help them going up into the next year group. Okay. The final thing I want to talk about is writing, okay? Always a very tricky thing for the children to grasp in school. A lot of children find writing difficult in comparison to the other subjects. Not all, but some of them do. So most schools would teach writing based on a key text. So they may be doing about a particular book in that year group, and then from that book they will do a series of pieces of writing. So what you can do as a parent is to try and find out, sometimes they have them on the school website, but you can usually find out by just asking the class teacher, what books are they doing this year, or what's their first book they're going to be doing. So, lower down the school, they're going to be doing sort of books like The Day the Crayons Quit, possibly, The Tiger That Came to Tea, Snow White in New York City, these kinds of books. Further up, the books get more difficult, but what you can do is find out what's the book going to be about. So potentially you could buy it for your child, and then as they're learning about it in school, you can explore it more at home and get them to read it and really know that story really well. That will help them with their writing. But what you can also do is, if the book is based around World War II, so The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, I know is a book they do in Key Stage 2, further up the school in Year 6, it's based around World War II, and their topic might also be World War II, you could then immerse your child in World War II at home and get really into it. So, you know, that might be doing some research online about World War II and helping them with that, finding out about any areas of World War II that they're really interested in, looking, I mean, it'd be even better if you could get an opportunity to take them to a museum, okay, that's a World War II museum, and really get them engaged and interested in that topic, okay, and they can bring all of that real experience and all those ideas back into their writing in school. Also have a look at what other books have been written around the same era. So, you know, what other books have been written that are set in the World War II era, or if they're doing a Victorians topic, can you look at some books that are written in the Victorian times? There are some easy versions of the Charles Dickens books. I know I've done Oliver Twist before with one of my classes, and they loved it. So, you know, have a look. What era is the book set in, and what other books could you read with your child around that era? If it's about animals, you know, take them to the zoo, get them to see some real animals. All these real experiences create memorable learning for the child that they can then bring back into school and use in their writing. And it really, really shows when you see the children writing, because they're writing from something that they know really well. Finally, one thing that we try to do is encourage children to read as much as possible. And a child who reads is often a child who can then independently learn and go away and find things out for themselves. So we're always trying to encourage pleasure for reading in school. What you can do at home is try to just get them to think about a few different authors that they like, okay? Get them to think about different you know, books that they've enjoyed. Maybe you've read some over the summer, maybe they've got really into it. So try to foster and encourage that pleasure for reading, so they come back to school and any time that they've got, which are not actually in lessons, they know they can talk about books, they can read, pick up a book and read it, because they will be doing some of that in school as well. So I hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like it and subscribe, because it really helps the YouTube channel out. Okay, if you want any more particular videos on particular things, then please request it in the comment section below. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.